Well, good morning, Interbet fans, and welcome to the race meeting, which has been moved from Scottsville to Greyville. We're on the Poly at Greyville, Sunday the 28th of February, and a little later than normal because we had to get all the scratchings and card changes and everything, which made it quite difficult to do the form studying. But after yesterday's meeting, well, we move on. As I thought, Cape Town might end up a disaster, which it did. One or two good things arrived, but the rest were pretty disappointing. A horse like Casimir, very, very disappointing. This horse, he's had Rio Carrari's number all the way along, but never got in the race. Clouds Unfold, extremely disappointing. And then certainly I would have thought that the Canamare team cannot be happy with the Derby. And so we move on and let's have a look and see what we can do on this race meeting here at Scottsville, which is now Greyville, as I've said. Right, the first race is off at 12:25. We're on the Poly, and Silvery Blue, drawn 3 with Peterson on it. Claim 4 looks extremely hard to beat, and I would think might be the right horse, the Fortune Runner, and seems to be good value at 7-2. Crested Eagle, I've been with it the last couple of times. I thought it got a shocking decision the time before last, and then last time never really looked to be going well at all. He would just always looked under pressure. Maybe he needs gelding, this horse, but he gets Luke Ferraris, and Donovan Dillon's been cast aside, so he goes and rides number 1 Prince Vian, which is any price in the betting, so you can't take that he fancies that ride, because I think Crested Eagle's quite a good ride. But I didn't think Donovan Dillon shone on this horse last time or the time before, to be absolutely honest, and I think Dougie Campbell said enough. So it looks to be absolutely between the two. The first time at Gallic Chief, we don't know anything about, and maybe will be an improver, Gareth Vinzel's runner. But watch him going down and watch for the betting support. The other one that's 7-1 in the betting is Party Time, the Miller runner. Right, let's go and have a look at race 2, which is a maiden plate, 1200 meters. And the favourite here is Gareth Vinzel's runner with Anton Marcus aboard at number 8, After the Rain. We know nothing about After the Rain, so we don't have any idea what we should be thinking about it. But his other runner, Cauldron, looks like the right horse. Muzieni gets aboard it. But when you see Marcus get on the other one, then you'd think, well, maybe Cauldron's not fancied at all and can't win this race. It's by Willow Magic, who's his sponsors, and I'm sure he'd like to do very well for them. Crusade Star's got the best form in the race and really goes well on the Poly. So you'd think Crusade Star, the Lone Donation runner, number 7 with Raymond Danielson aboard it, got to be some type of runner. But all in all, I think it's an incredibly difficult race, and you've just got to wait for the betting, because there's nothing with any real form, and wait for them to go down before you take your buy pot. Race 3, this is a maiden plate, and they go 1800 meters, because 1750 has been moved to 1800 meters. Sonyador might get his reward. He's been ultra consistent, this horse. He goes on the Poly. Expect him to run really well in this type of race. Coromandel just needed his last run. They've all ran behind Masango Machine, so did the Gaul, and they look like they both got chances. But my top choice here is Mr. Pigalle, Donovan Dillon for Peter Muscat. I thought it's got a real good come-on look. He's only had the 4 starts. His last start was much improved, and he will go very well here. If you're looking for a big result horse, look at Torben Spirit. They've taken the blinkers off and the tongue tie off. He's only just arrived in town, but Luke Ferraris is an eye-catching booking and should go well. So that might be right there, but Mr. Pigalle's my top choice, and certainly worth an each way. Race 4. 1800 meter merit rated handicap, and here I like the Poly Specialist High Green. I think that's been switched to the surface, and in fact Low Donation might have a very good day today. Number 2 High Green, Luke Ferraris rides Poly Specialist and should go very well. What are the rest of them? Well, Vitus Bearing, he'll like the Poly as well. He gets gathered right, but puts up 1 kilo overweight. That's not going to help. Count Marsh has run 2 very good races on the Poly, should go well as well. Spring Fling won a good one his last start, but he doesn't look any good on the Poly at all. And Tychron, certainly better on the Poly. Then Follow My Path gets his first crack at the Poly. Now, I've been with this horse for a long time. He's not getting left out of anything. Race 5, Mary rated 83, 2,000. The 2,400 has now been dropped to 2,000 meters. And I think that will suit Run to Denmark perfectly. He loves the Poly. This horse got a lot to like about him. And Gareth Wright rode a very good race on a horse the other day to come through them and win. And maybe he's getting his confidence and starting to ride particularly well. So Run to Denmark's a big cracker for him. And let's hope that he can produce and give him the right ride. The Peel Serena Mudley, number 7 for Alison Wright. Very nice last run. He goes on the Poly as well, so well thought of and should go well. What else is there? Twice Golden's got good form, gets Marcus. Always worth having a look at. And Jack of Hearts, I'm not sure that he doesn't go that way well on the Poly too. I think he'll go well in a race like this with Luke Ferraris. But when Garth Buller puts Marcus on a horse, you'd think that would be the right one. Although Luke Ferraris does get the majority of his good rides. Right, race 6, Mary rated 78. They go 1,000 meters. I make this an absolute 2-horse race. I made it a 1-horse race until they put the blinkers on Prince Kresh. Now, that's a typical Anton Marcus move. He jumps on a horse, goes and rides at work on the Thursday morning and says, put the blinkers on, this horse, not doing enough, not doing his best. Now, I think he's just had 2 shocking rides his last 2 starts. I think he's an absolute made-to-measure horse for this race. Perfect race for him. Last time he ran on the Poly, he was drawn 12 out of 12. You've got to ignore that. He should be able to get to the front and he should be able to win. But the blinkers might make him too keen. And that's what worries me. He should win, and I like him a lot. The danger, if he falls in a hole, well, there are 2 dangers actually. I've got to give them both a chance. Valiente from the Peter Muscat stable with Stratham on, claimed 2.5, not Pierre Kyle Stratham. And he loves the Poly, so he should go extremely well. Go back 3 runs, he beat Hampton Court, and certainly at the weight turnaround, Hampton Court should be able to beat him. Gets Warren Kennedy and gets a big chance as well, does Hampton Court. He likes the Poly too. So it looks like the 2 of them should fight out the minor money if Prince Koresh runs his best. If he runs his best, he should win. Race 7, Mary rated handicap over 2,000 meters. And here I like Fever. He's got to go the 2,000 meters, this horse, but if he does, he's ready. He likes the Poly. His last 2 runs were absolutely cracking good runs, and he should be very, very difficult to beat. So what can beat him? Well, I really couldn't find anything that could beat him. I suppose Smart Socks might be a runner. He likes the Poly too, loves going back on the Poly. What else is there? There were a number of horses that had chances in the race. Maybe Rock With Me, won a good maiden. Al Jackman always goes well and could run well here. Kurt's Approval might be an improver. Cherokee Chief lost his form completely, but he's well bred. I couldn't find anything to beat Fever, funny enough. And I think that if he gets the right run of the race, he should be very difficult to beat. He's got to be a horse that's held up, so it's a bit tricky. So either Fever or the field. Race 8, there's a Mary rated handicap, another 2,000 meter Mary rated handicap. I like 3 horses here. I thought A Whole New World was the right horse. He does go well on the Poly. His two runs have been very good. He gets a 2.5 claimer again, Carl Stratham. He did get a 5-point penalty for winning, but that shouldn't be able to stop him. Mighty Smart. Anton Marcus is a jockey booking. He has ridden this horse before, and he's run well on the Poly before, so he'll go well. Then Mambo Symphony. He was the 3rd horse to find of the race, and he's a big price, and I think he'll go and run well. Although his Poly form not that convincing, but he has had one very good run. So expect him to have a chance. He gets a Donovan Dillon, so that would give him some sort of chance. There are a number of horses for the minor money. Final Occasion looks like an improver. Baka, he won well last time. King's Cove looks like he's better on the Poly. And Roy's Fisco always runs well. Dom Sigador, Samuel gets a crack at him. I think I'm going to stick with my top three. Race 9, 1400, fillies and mares, and difficult. Extremely difficult. Arctic Princess looks like the right horse. This filly has done extremely well with Gary Rich, number 7 on the cards. Stewie Randolph's knocked up a good partnership with her. She goes on the Poly, and she doesn't look inconvenienced by the penalty that she's had. She should be able to go very well here, and I'd expect her to be hard to beat. So what else is there? Voice of Reason goes back on the Poly. That might be what she's been looking for, but she lost her form. Comes back in trip. I think that will suit her as well. Although she's by Silvana, I don't know, Al Mufti mare, she should go all day. The draw is going to help draw 1. Brunilda, look for improvement. Warren rides it for Garth Fuller. And Peace on the Rocks comes from Joburg and could be a big improver in a race like this. But Arctic Princess looks like the one they're all going to have to beat. Sands Dancer's got some form. I'm going with Arctic Princess. As you can see, we fancy quite a few horses here, and I'm going to stick with them and see how the day goes. We've got another race meeting tomorrow at the Greyville on the Poly, so hope that all goes well, and we'll start studying for that now while we get ready for today's racing. But for you guys that don't have to study, go and play on Interbet. You can play all the live games, as I always tell you, and they're well worth having a go at. There's some real fun games there. From me, James Goodman, until tomorrow morning, you have the great Sunday and the rest of your day. I hope it goes and everything is as you wish.